not null, default, check. These things we have learned earlier. Okay.
Unique.
Unique constraint also we have seen. Thanks. These constraints we have seen. So these constraints are defined at what level, guys? We are defining these constraints at column level. True or not? We're defining these constraints at column level. Each column will be defined with this constraint. Okay. What is the syntax? What is the syntax to create a table? Create table, table name, column, separated with data type, space. It is it's constraint. Okay. Constraints defines the rule, the kind of data that needs to be allowed in that particular column. Whereas data type defines like what kind of data. So it is differences like this, guys. So we are having a student. We are having a kid with 6 years age. Okay. So every kid is allowed to go to a school. Every kid is allowed to go to a school. Okay. So let's suppose if school is data type and like here it is kid, and every kid is allowed to go to a school. Every kid is allowed to go to a school. But the constraint defines whether that particular kid allowed in that specific school or not, because we'll be having different schools in the city. Okay. And kids will be taking admission into different schools. So the kid who is having admission in one particular school is not allowed in another school, right? The similar way, all numbers are allowed here in this roll number column, but those roll numbers must behave uniqueness nature. Getting my point, guys? All roll numbers. Let's suppose one I have inserted one initially as part of record one. I have inserted value 1 into this roll number column. And second time I'm trying to insert again same value 1 into the roll number column. So here that value 1 is satisfying that particular data type constraint, but the actual constraint that is defined on the column is not satisfying. Getting my point, guys? In both cases, one is a value, which is an integer value. As per the data type, it is true. It is correct. But as per the constraint, it is failing. Getting my point, guys? Guys, understanding this thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When we try to insert one record with one value 1 for this roll number, that time record got inserted. When we again try to insert the same kind of record into the same table with the value 1 for roll number column, it will fail. Though the values applied for roll number column in both the cases is satisfying the data type int 1 1 int, but it is failing with the constraint. Okay, this is what we have to understand. Okay, now so what kind of data that we deal with in general? We deal with text data, we deal with numbers data, and we deal with dates. These three are the high level, like our data, general day-to-day transactions. We deal with the data which is related to text, numbers, and date. These three data types we use. Okay, all the data that we deal with falls under these three categories. Okay, in SQL Server, we are having data types like CHAR, VARCHAR. We'll learn about other data types when needed. But to continue our learning, we will deal with these data types initially. We have int, decimal. And decimal, we are having select, scale, and precision. Scale and precision. And here we are having date as data type, date time. We deal with these things. Initially, we learn about these data types, guys. Later, we'll go and learn other data types as and when required. Okay? Getting my point? Clear, guys? Okay. Now, We will take the same example: roll number, name, email, age, gender. Otherwise, we'll take one table: roll number column, name, age. Here we'll take date of birth. Okay. In addition, we'll take date of birth. Okay. And we'll deal with fee information. So here, roll number is kind of, by looking at the text, what you can say is
Integer.
numeric text. It is numeric content. So that can be handled with numeric data type, which is nothing but integer. And here name, I can say ABC, C, D, E, D, E, F. So name falls under which category, guys?
Character.
Name falls under CHAR. So it is a text content. So it falls under either CHAR or VARCHAR. So I can use CHAR. And age. Age comes under
Integer.
numeric, again numeric number. So I'm denoting it with int. Remember, guys, int data type cannot handle decimal values. Int data type will not handle decimal values, whereas decimal data type handles decimal values. Remember that. That's different. So I'll say 545. So it is like LKG. That's it. 2 kg. So this I'll get as grade. And when it comes to date of birth, I'm saying 2019. You write something like this. Some value. I guess 27. And I'm something like, okay. It's like, okay, this value, right? 2020. Something like this. And 19. Some date I'm giving, June 3rd, something like that. Okay. So date. So the text which is available in date of birth column can be dealt with which particular data type? Date. It has to be deal with date data type. So this column data needs to be dealt with date data type. And fee information, I'm saying something like this, 8,100. 7,575 paisa. And I'm saying this one. Okay. And this can be dealt with what, guys?
Decimal data.
Decimal
data type. And this one?
char.
Yeah. It is a text content. Grade is a text content as per our data. Grade is a text content column. So it needs to be dealt with which particular data type? Either character or VARCHAR. So in our case, I'll give VARCHAR. Have we covered all the combinations? No. I think we have to deal with alphanumeric. Alphanumeric. So for that purpose, what kind of data contains alphanumeric values? Yes.
Email ID.
Perfect.
Email
Email IDs. So, okay. Email ID. The character. So email ID, I'll say abc@school.com. BCD. df@school.com. This way we are having email IDs and it can be dealt either with character or VARCHAR. The differences we learn later. Okay. First try to understand the significance of data type with respect to your table and columns. Okay. So that's why we are starting learning data types through simple ways. Okay. Clear so far, everyone?
So,
Okay, thank you. So now, here, as per the data type identified on each of the column based on the data available in that particular column, if I try to insert a value A to column roll number, something like this ABC, is this allowed?
no.
Why? What's the reason?
This is a text data type. This character data type. But whatever we are giving in the whole number, this is integer. Lacks only the integer one.
They're trying to pass a text content, which is nothing but a character data, to a column which is of integer data type. So data type mismatch happening. Your insert statement will fail. If I enter some value like this, is this allowed? This is allowed. 1, 2 is allowed in character name.
No.
Allowed.
No.
Allowed. Because for character data type, it can be any character, either from A to Z, or it can be any special characters, anything, any special character, or 1 to 0, 0 to 9, anything. Anything that is available on keyboard, even the blank space is also allowed with character data type. Remember that. It is allowed. Clear? Why it is allowed? It is nothing but a character for database. Okay? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now this one. Oh, sorry. 6.2 I'll say. Allowed?
No.
No, it's not.
We will see this one and through example. We'll highlight this. What happens if you try to insert this kind of value? Because it's a numeric content only, right? But it is having additionally decimal points that we are trying to insert into integer. We'll learn this. And now, so there is no point like entering data like this here. We have to provide data in the form of always our data needs to be there in the format YYYY-MM-DD. Nothing but 4 Y's, nothing but your inner year in 4-digit form, and your month number in 2-digit form, and your day number in 2-digit form. What are the possible values for day, guys? In this month, in this data type?
0, 1, 2, 3, 1.
0, 1 to 31. Perfect. And for month?
0, 1 to 12.
0, 1 to 12. Okay. Good. Now, so it is with respect to date. What I'll say, I'll use date time. So date time always is used to track the changes. Changes in the sense when the student information created in your database table, something like that. Okay. So here what I'll do for date time, I'll use a constraint with the name default. I do not pass created date in the insert statement, so that whenever we insert a record, that particular time, whichever get date is available, get date in the sense current system time, that will be inserted here. But remember, it will have a format like YYYY-MM-DD space hours colon minutes colon seconds colon dot MMM milliseconds. Clear with this format? Difference is date data type contains only date part, and date time contains date part as well as time part. That's why we used to call this one as date time. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, here we'll try to understand decimal part, decimal scale and precision. I told you, right? Okay. When I say decimal of 5 comma 2, what does it mean? 5 is here, scale is 5, and precision is 2. What does it mean? What does it mean? After decimal number, how many digits needs to be there? Decimal points, sir. After decimal points, how many digits are allowed? Digits allowed post decimal point in the number. And this 5 is sum of, otherwise, count of digits before and after decimal point. Before and after decimal point. This is some tricky, guys. It's tricky. It is not like 5 is always before decimal point, 5 digits are allowed. after decimal point 2 digits are allowed. It is not the case. See here, if as per, see what I'm saying, count of digits before and after decimal points. Let's suppose, what if I say 132.22? What is the scale here?
3. 5.
133.
No, scale is 5. As per this definition, what I'm saying here,
Total numbers.
total, count of digits. I'm saying count of digits. Count of digits. Count the digits before decimal point. Count them.
3.
5.
And after decimal point, count the digits after decimal point.
2.
Okay, that's, and here for this value, scale is under precision. What is the precision here for this number?
2.
How it is arrived?
After decimal.
After decimal point, what is the count? 2. Okay. With this number, these are the scale and precision. And for a column which is defined with the data type like decimal 5, 2, if I give values like this, so here what is the scale and precision?
6 is the scale and
6 and
3 is
3.
the decimal.
6, does this value fit into our data type?
No.
When it will fit? If the last digit after decimal point will, if we exclude that digit, then
2.
then only disallowed. Getting my point here? Though, so we will see this example as well, decimal case example as well. Okay. Now clear guys, high level, what kind of data that can be allowed? So, character or VARCHAR allows A to Z, capital A to capital Z, all special characters which are available on your keyboard. Okay. This way, all special characters. And what is it? 0 to 9, these numbers. Here, character and VARCHAR allows these many characters in their data. The columns which are defined with CHAR or VARCHAR data type allows these values. Okay. Int allows integer values without decimal point. Decimals allows value based on scale and precision. Yes,
Precision.
Precision. Yeah. And date. Date allows value always in this format. YYYY-MM-DD. And date time allowed the same format. In addition to that, hours colon, minutes colon, seconds colon, seconds dot.
Date Y/MM should be DD.
Yes, thank you. Milliseconds. MM. See, for 1 second, how many milliseconds will be there? For 1 second, how many milliseconds will be there, guys?
$60.
I'm saying milliseconds. Okay. Ignore that. For 1 kg, how many milligrams will be there? Okay, so I'll give you straight. Okay. 1 second. Nothing but 1000 milliseconds. It's getting an office call. Give me a moment. 1000 Yeah. Yeah, sorry, yes. 1 second is nothing but 1000 milliseconds. Yes, remember that. Huh? These are basic data types, guys. We generally deal with. Okay. Yes, I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now. Okay. Now, what I'll do? Mm, okay. Can we use same table? Roll number, name, age. Okay. Email is there. Okay. Good. Gender. Instead of gender, there is a grade. So grade. We'll convert this as grade. Grade with gender. Grade. Character of 20. And say not now. After that, email is there. Let it be date of birth. Date of birth. Create a date. I'm simply using DOB, guys, for date of birth. I'm using date at a time. I'm saying not now. Okay. Default. Roll number, age, email. Okay. So we are creating a table with the name people. Okay. So I'm selecting this. We have defined data types and we have defined. Okay. Thanks. Sir. Information. Decimal. I'll say 6, 2. I'll say not null. I'll say this one is not. I'm executing create table people. So it'll ask the password. Okay. I have executed using execute statement. It got created. And here under table section, if I refresh, I'll see people created. Okay. Now, so let's try to insert the data. Insert into people table values. I'm straight away using values. Or else I'll use column names, roll number, name, email, age, gender, grade, fee. DOB. I'm using only till DOB. I'm excluding created date from my insert statement. What happens if I exclude this?
Automatically.
By default, this one, whatever get date value gives, that will be created, that will be given, that will be stored in this column for this row. Now, so I'll say roll number 1, valid, ABC, valid. And here by mistake, @ symbol there. Say that later. Okay. For name and email. Email is what kind of data, guys?
Yeah.
It's alphanumeric one. So I'll use ABC @school. Next, age, I'm saying 6 years. Gender, I'm saying I have to give any of the value from the checklist, the constraint which is defined for the gender. We're saying gender column value must be in F or O. And grade, I'm saying, again, grade is character 1. I'm saying nursery, 2 kg. And fee, I'm saying 1800.25. And date of birth in single quotes. See, guys, text and dates must be passed inside single quotes. Must be used inside single quotes. Okay, I'm using 2017, some June. How many values are there in our insert statement?
8.
Okay, 8. Perfect.
7.
How many columns?
7 columns, 7 values.
Roll number, aim, email, age, gender, grade,
For
fee.
each column, we have given check constraint, right? It should be above 18%. Otherwise, you cannot insert.
Huh.
Not
What I'm saying, in this insert statement, how many columns are there and how many values are there? So our column count must match with the values count that we supply, right? So for this reason, we have to make sure if you write any insert statement, the column count must match with our values count. And second thing, order of your data type of your columns must match with order of data type of the values that we supply in the insert statement. Okay. Now, roll number is integer. 1 is allowed. ABC, age 6, gender F, grade UKG, fee 1800.25, DOB, this way. I'm inserting. What's saying? What's saying? Check consent.
Each column should be
Age is greater. Sorry, guys. Okay. It's failing with this. Okay. So I'll say greater than 4. So now, whatever things that we have learned in the last session is helpful here. So what I have to do, I have to alter my table. By
people.
By?
Alter age.
Hmm?
Int. Check age greater than 4.
Sorry, it's alter column. Yeah, alter column age, check constraint. So I think we have to drop check constraint first. In the table level, put people under constraints, we are having age constraint. I'm selecting this name. I'll say drop constraint, this one.
Can we alter the constraint instead of the column?
Yeah, we can do
Is
that.
there any-
We can do that. But before that, we'll have the session separately. Before that, I'll try to drop the column. Enter column first. Drop column is. Let's find it. And then down. Okay. So let this alter table drop constraint. Let's see. What's saying? Incorrect syntax in here. Drop constraint. It's spelling mistake. Let's try this. Okay. It got dropped. So my column name still there. Yeah, it's constraint got dropped. My column is still there. So no need to worry. I have dropped the constraint. So we do not have any constraint on the age. Okay. We'll simply say not null. I'll modify this. Alter table people alter column age. Age isn't not null. I'll say. We got executed successfully. Now, if I try to execute this, what happens? A card will be inserted. One row got affected. So from people table, try to select the data. Select star from people table. Okay. So all the values we have supplied to the columns in the insert statement, all got inserted. In addition to them, there is one column, created date, which is not part of your insert statement. That particular column also populated with the value in that particular record. Okay. Now see here. What is the format here? Read out. First 4 digits are year, and second 2 digits denoting month.
Month.
These two digits in
Day.
denoting day. After that, 24 hours format. 17 hours, nothing but 5 p.m. 37 minutes 49 seconds, and this is milliseconds. Dot mil. In after after 49 second, in the 50th second, 520 milliseconds were completed. By the time we execute this insert statement. Clear? Is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we will deal with incorrect cases. So for that, create a date is this way, and your date of birth is this way. Only date part will be there with date column, and date and time part will be there with date time columns. Okay. Now, what I'll do here, I'll try to retain value 1, but I'll try to change B, C, C, D, E. Other values I'll try to change C, D, E. And age, name, email, and age. Age, I'll make it 4. I'll make it nursery. For nursery, I'll say 1600. So I'm trying to insert one more record, but I haven't changed roll number value. 1 is integer data type value, true or false? My statement is true or false?
Yes, sir.
True. But when we try to insert that integer value, I'm getting an error. It's saying violation of unique key constraint. Cannot insert duplicate key into this table. The duplicate key value is 1. Why? What is happening? We have defined a roll number column with a unique constraint. So any value which is going to, any record which is going to have roll number column value, that must not be a new one, which is not available with the existing records. See, with the existing records, we are having roll number 1. Again, if you try to insert one more record with the same value 1 for roll number column, it will fail due to unique constraint. See here. Initially, when we try to insert record for the first time with the value 1, it got allowed. That time, one value is integer 1. As per data type, it is true. As per data type, value 1 is having, as per data type, 1 is valid.
Yes, data type.
But as per constraint, it is invalid. So I am making it as 2. That is first error. Okay. Let's record that error. So this is first error. Hello. Simply copy this and record this error. Okay. And I am changing roll number to 2. And name. So here in the name, it is evident by looking at this email ID. Email column is of which particular data type? Email is of VARCHAR.
VARCHAR.
And here, your email column containing value like this. Apart from alphabets, it is also containing special characters like dot and @ And those are allowed and those got inserted. So it is evident. CHAR and VARCHAR data types allows special characters too. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll try to add, by mistake I have typed in CDE12 this way. Let's see whether it gets inserted or not. Okay. For which column I'm passing CDE12 value?
In column.
Name column. It's saying one row affected. When I try to execute, see here, CDE12 inserted. What's the data type of name column? Character. So for character, as I have shown, all these values are allowed. Okay. Good. Now, I'll create one more record, third record with DEF value. DEF value. I'll say 5.5, 5.5 years kid, I'm saying. SM LKG 1700 118. Let's try to insert. And this value 5.5 is for what? Age column. Okay. Yes, sorry, yes. One more office call. Please excuse me. DEF at the school email, and this 5.5 value is meant for which particular column?
Age.
Age column.
Age column. Now let's see. Age is what type of column?
Is it?
Int.
Now let's see what happens. Oh my god, one row affected. What happened? How come? You will see now what happened. What's the value inserted in this record? The latest record. What is the value for age?
5.
Sorry.
What is the value that is applied in the insert statement?
5.5.
What happened? That decimal part got excluded. Decimal part got excluded here in this record. This decimal part, 5.5, out of 5.5, only 5 got inserted. That means your decimal part got excluded. Automatically, it got converted. Decimal value converted into which value, guys?
Int value.
Integer value. That conversion automatically taken care by database system. Because both are numeric data type. Okay. Now, I'm going to take one more record for EFG. Now it is evident. Now it is evident that decimal values are also allowed in the integer data type column, but your decimal value will be lost. Remember that. Your decimal value will be lost. What happened? Something happened. Some key got pressed. It is moving like this. Nothing got pressed. Why? Mouse cursor is moving automatically, guys, on its own. Anyone is aware of fix? Apart from restarting computer. Maybe it is limited to this one. Correct. It's only limited to paint. Some shortcut got. 9 data types. I'll close. I'll close this. I'll open. Good. So decimal value can be inserted into integer column, but your decimal value will be last. Okay. Now, what we'll do? I'm increasing this one, 256. LKJ, I'm saying 1900.256. Value as this. I'm saying 260. Now see. This 1900.256 is meant for which column, guys?
C column.
Fee column.
Fee column. And what is the data type of fee columm?
Decimal.
What is the scale and precision?
600.
Okay, 6, 2. So as per precision, what are the digits that are allowed before decimal point?
6 digit.
Only 4. Only 4. I told you, right? The scale is nothing but a sum of your precision plus actual value before decimal. So if scale is, precision is 2, then your scale must be only 4, right? 4 plus 2 will become 6. Out of 6, 2 digits can be decimal values. Let's see what happens. It got inserted. Perfect. What is the value supplied?
1900.256.
56. And see what is the value actually inserted in the database. What is the value inserted in the database?
So it is rounded to 6.
It excluded that 6. That additional digit, it got excluded. The additional digit got excluded here. This thing, 1900 value converted to 1900.26. Okay. The last number, like in the precision, we lost the last digit. Okay. Now,
Last being the different. Not the last number.
sorry. Yeah, okay.
It's rounded to
It got rounded to its nearest. It got rounded to its nearest value. Dot 256 got rounded to its nearest value. Dot 26. Okay. Now what I'll do, as per my understanding, I'll try to make, okay, say decimal is 6.2, right? 6, 2. What if I add this way? For a new record. 5 FG H FG. I'll say same combination I'll put. I'll say only data but I'll change. Now, what is my decimal data type is? So what is the decimal value I have taken? 6, 2 decimal data type. And what is the value I'm trying to insert? 19,000.25. What is the scale here? With respect to this value? 7. Scale is 7. Precision?
2.
2.
What's saying? Arithmetic overflow error converting numeric data type. Converting numeric to data type numeric. Overflow. What does it mean? I'm able to handle only 6, 2. That is, the total count of digits of your value must be 6. But as per your data supplied, what is the total count of digits? What is the total count of digits? Nothing but your scale is 7. But as per the definition of this P column, the scale it can handle is only 6. The additional value, what happens? see, you have taken an half liter bowl and you try to pour 1 liter water into it. So will it overflow or what happens is? What happens? It will overflow. So the same error it is telling, database engine telling us arithmetic overflow error. Whereas this fee column defined with scale 6, but here you are supplying a value with a scale 7. So it will be overflown. Okay. So guys, we need not to follow conventional way of learning, like learning data types first and remembering all the data types and then start learning queries. It is not required every time. So as we grow up, like we have to learn things which are mandatory, necessary things. And other gaps we can fill automatically on our own. You need to have some push on some topics. Like this is the thing. If data type is this thing, we can define a data type against a column. And based on the data type, when we insert data, validation will happen. We'll get this kind of error. So like this, if you get some overview, then you can go to any Google resource or any other textbook. You can refer them and you can learn. Okay, this data type can handle this data type, this kind of data, this kind of text. That's all. But you need to have the high level view, like what is data type, where it is associated, and where it gets validated, and what is its significance with respect to our queries. Okay, clear? Overflow error. Why? As per your database table definition, your fee column is defined with data type this one. So as per this, the allowed scale is
6,
6, but supplied scale
7,
is scale of value 19,000. So 25 is 7, and the error. Hence the error. Clear? Clear, yes?
yes sir.
So this is about decimal data. Remember, guys, it is important. Scale and precision, you have to remember always. Okay. We people confuse, whenever we give 6,2, the total count allowed is 8. It is wrong. The total count allowed is 6 minus 2. Sorry. The total count of digits before and after decimal points is this scale. It becomes your scale. And from that scale, you're allowed to have these many digits as part of your decimal value after decimal point. Okay. Clear? Now clear, guys? Able have got some idea like what data types that we can deal with and what are the keywords for those data types. So high level, we have categorized, we have grouped our data into these things. Text, number, date. This is our high level categorization of data. Taking and giving this screenshot. So data types. Now tell me, guys, what is a data type? So data type is defined, data type is associated with your column. with your column, and it decides what kind of data that can be inserted into that column. That's all. Okay. So here what is happening? Decimal value is ignored. Here what's happening is decimal values rounded fit into your scale. See here guys, when I give more number of digits after decimal point, it got inserted. But when I give more number of digits before decimal point, it is not allowing to me insert. The reason is we can round the values from the ending. We cannot round the values before decimal point, right? We can round the values here after decimal point. Getting my point, guys?
Yes, sir.
So here, what's the case? Inserting a decimal value in int column. This is a use case here. Here, inserting a decimal value in decimal column with what is more number of decimal, more number of digits post decimal point. And here, inserting a decimal value into a decimal column with scale more than the one defined in the data type. Okay. Now we'll go to database. Here we'll try to insert one more record. The same record we'll try to insert by making it as 00. Do we have any date with 00 guys in the month May?
No.
Okay, let's try to insert this record. What's saying? Sorry, I'll remove this. First, this error is throwing as this value comes, thus as this value encountered in the beginning. And I'm using this. What's saying? What's saying?
Conversion failed.
It's saying conversion failed when converting your date time character string because there is no date 00 available in the month May. There's a problem with your insert query. Okay. 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 Passing. This is case of inserting incorrect date value into a date column. Next, date time we have seen. So okay. So date time, you people are hope you people are clear with this date time. So I'll increase it further. Zoom in and paste it here. So all these values comes under which category, guys? Which data type?
Date time.
And yes, all these dates, only date. These are date values. And these are date time values. Remember this. So these are basic data types, guys, that we generally deal with. We will learn about all data types in detail when the context comes. For now, try to understand, we deal with the data like text data. We can handle using these two data types. Number data, we can handle these two data types. Date data, we can handle these two using these two data types. And decimal, you try to understand what is scale and what is precision. I'll give this definition as well. Where is for decimal? Is everyone clear with this data types? Okay, thank you. So I'm giving it at the end. That's all, guys. That's all for today. Okay. So we'll meet on Monday for our SQL session. Monday we won't be having morning session, guys. Maybe I'll take evening session. I'll communicating that. But from Tuesday onwards, I'll take morning sessions next complete week. And our Power BI sessions will be continued at 6 p.m. as usual. Okay. Thank you, guys. See you next session. And yeah, we'll continue our Power BI session next 5 minutes. Huh? Thanks.